Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to do a side-by-side test of the TP-Link EAP outdoor access point. And this will be the eap110 and eap225. The reason for this video is because there are people who are only interested in the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency because maybe they are still after the range that 2.4 can cover more than the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. But guys, check out the individual review of the eap225 and you will be amazed that it has a great 5 GHz Wi-Fi range. Or maybe they have clients that are connected to the access point that only uses a single band 2.4 Wi-Fi frequency. But regardless of those, let us do an actual test to compare these two. For our test, we have set the bandwidth to 100 Mbps for eap110 and eap225 because it would be unfair to the eap110 if there is no bandwidth limiter because the eap225 has a gigabit LAN while the eap110 only 100 Mbps of LAN. Then aside from that one, we also set both on the same channel even though we know that it will interfere with each other because honestly, there are a ton of 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency on our area, especially on the 60 meters range. Next is, we will be doing a 3 test for each AP on each location and get the average. Last one is, we will be using a Huawei P30 Pro for our phone, and because actually, not all mobile devices have the same Wi-Fi card and some might actually provide more speed while the others are slower. Now, let us begin with our test. First is, of course, the baseline testing. And this is the actual result. In average, we are getting 24.7 Mbps per download, 58.3 Mbps per upload on eap110. While 41.5 Mbps per download and 62.3 Mbps per upload on eap225. This is the baseline testing for both our units. And actually, just to make sure, we are only using 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency for this one. Now, let us continue with the test. Next would be around 20 meters. On average, we are getting 22.3 Mbps for download, 18.9 for upload from the eap110, and 26.3 Mbps per download, 31 Mbps per upload from the eap225. Next one will be, of course, the 60 meters range. We are getting 9.5 Mbps for download, 5.5 Mbps for upload on eap110, while 18.4 Mbps per download and 18.4 Mbps per upload on eap225. Guys, this location has the most Wi-Fi interference that we can get because there are a lot of neighbors who have Wi-Fi 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. Last test would be on the 120 meters range. Which we are getting 12.4 Mbps for download, 3.7 for upload on eap110 on average, while 9.2 Mbps for download, 6.1 Mbps for upload on eap225. This is where the eap110 won on the speed test. And unfortunately, we cannot do a test on 150 meters range because there is a car that will be blocking our line of sight and we won't be able to do a speed test for both units. For the speed test, the eap225 won at 3 locations. Baseline, 20 meters, and 60 meters range. While the eap110 won at 120 meters range, which if you're going to compare the difference, it is not that actually significant. So if you're just going to browse the internet, online shopping, streaming, both are actually good. And you might actually save money with eap110 if you really just like the single band 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency. Now, of course, let us try to do another test. Let us try to game my favorite mobile game, Mobile Legends. For 20 meters range, both are actually performing well, having single digit all the time. And when we move to double that range, around 40 meters, we are still getting a great gaming experience, single-digit latency on both eap110 and eap225. Then for the 60 meters range, this is where it changes. We are getting single-digit to double-digit latency consistently. Well, that is still playable and still a great gaming experience, even though there are a lot of Wi-Fi interference with our neighbors. Lastly, we tried at 100 meters range. For the eap110, we are getting single-digit to double-digit latency, and in some instances, 3-digit latency, which is actually lagging. And I think it's still not bad if there are actually no way for you to go near the access point. It's still playable but not that great. It's lag actually. While for the eap225, single digit to triple digit latency most of the time. And for me, it is not actually playable. And I'm not actually sure what the problem on the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency of the eap225, but for the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, if I can recall, it has a great gaming experience on that range. Now for the conclusion, if you just need the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, the eap110 works great, and it will save you a lot of money, and actually it performs the same with the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network of the eap225. But if you will be asking for my suggestion, I would still definitely suggest the eap225. One, because it is dual band, better and stable connection on 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency, and even gives you a great range. When I say great range, try to check out the individual review of this eap225 on my channel. You will be amazed as well. Second is, you might think that you don't need the 5 GHz Wi-Fi frequency for now. But in the long run, you might actually need it, especially when the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network in your area is totally crowded. Lastly, a disclaimer, my actual test might actually differ from yours because there is a lot to consider, like mobile device, interference with a lot of things like another Wi-Fi network, appliances, and everything. But nonetheless, this is the actual test of the eap110 and eap225. Both performs regardless on what you pick. I hope you learned something from this video. If you do, please hit that like button. And if you have a comment and suggestion, please comment down below or message me at Chavez on FB. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Stay safe and bye!